Hey everybody, PK Speed here. Before today's episode starts, unfortunately, this episode was absolute hell to edit. At some point, the software I was using to record my voice kind of desynced with the others, so there's going to be a few DO cuts here that kind of cover up for it. Luckily, nothing else is too bad. If there's anything out of sync, please let me know in the YouTube version, the comment section, or you can at me at Twitter, etc. So if there's anything wrong with the episode, please let me know. So, other than that, enjoy the episode. Listen, like, I got nothing. We're just gonna do it. So we're gonna start now. Welcome to the new episode of the Midnight.
Wow, for once we don't open with a random conversation we're having.
It's fine,
Wait, did you actually just start the recording?
Well, I technically record like as early as I can, and then I'll just edit out the before I.
I feel like I just like it's been a while. It's like I just got like the intro to Skyrim done to me.
Bruh, for real.
Oh, you're awake.
Like just the Skyrim
you're
intro.
Awake. Here, record this podcast real quick.
Mm-hmm. It's like you're finally here. Freaking like slaps you, hands you a shot. Says, all right, record this podcast.
Get ready. It's like WarioWare. You got to do it in like a couple seconds.
WarioWare shake it.
Oh man, so much to make like a WarioWare podcast.
Oh
it's like,
god! It's just how long they have. It's just how many JPEGs of Jimmy they can put up before it gets canceled.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to the new episode. Of course, it's me, PK Speed. All that. Today, I have Toble, of course, and surprisingly, I have Faye. Not Pixel.
Yeah, the Faye Exclaimed, the affiliated Twitch streamer, and
yes.
I don't know, I guess like Twitter personality.
That's a mood. Be like, man, I forget what I'm qualified as, so let's just pull out some stuff that can count.
Pull some shit out of my ass right now.
Pretty much.
Here to talk about VTubers and Toho. That's what
VTubers, Toho, and occasionally I randomly think about Vocaloid.
I know nothing about Toho, but VTubers. We do a whole podcast about that shit.
Oh god, dude! I have talked the amount of random VTuber non sequiturs I have had on this podcast. Oh my god!
I think I have like 3 episodes here of like Austin talking about VTubers in some manner.
I guess that is technically animation, so you can't really get mad at
me.
That's why.
Like you can't get mad. You can't get mad at me simping for the 5th time in the podcast over freaking VTubers.
Yeah, it's always hilarious to me when it happens because it just.
Oh man, you should have been here when I mentioned freaking the Hololive VTubers interviewing like Jared Leto from Morbius and Robert Pattinson from the Batman.
I didn't realize that Jared Leto played Morbius, and now it makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes so much sense.
Finally, I'm Morbin. Anyway,
I'm Morbin.
I don't get like why that's the meme now. Like,
dude, Like, oh, hang on. Oh, sorry. You go on, Faye. I got something I'll post on the Discord that's related to Morbin.
My favorite thing regarding VTubers recently is Bao the Will VTuber getting her tweets read by the voice actor from Elden Ring and just starting to like bark. Yeah. I think.
Oh my god, Bao.
Relatable.
Dude, yeah, I've been loving Bao's freaking trip with Elden Ring. Oh god. Her going absolutely feral for Blade's voice actor. Or Bladed.
Yeah.
It is kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Very funny.
But anyway, yes. So we're gonna be talking about our weeks first before we get into any news. You know what? We'll open up with Austin. You do it.
Me? Okay, so there's VTubers again. Yeah, it's always VTubers. Um, I'm really, it hasn't been much. It has been watch VTubers and like streams from like people who I remember watching in like earlier 2000, like the 2010s.
An era.
Yeah, an era. And freaking, I've been making a lot more progress in Xenoblade Chronicles.
Oh yeah, you were playing.
Yeah, that was fun. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. Like I think I was basically near the beginning when I first started, and I hadn't made much progress. But then I think one day I just like grinded through a lot of it, and I think I'm basically at the end of it now.
God damn, really?
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things. Like since it's like a bonus plot thing, they don't make them near as long as a full Xenoblade game.
Okay. I thought you meant like you're replaying like regular.
Oh God!
Xenoblade.
If I was replaying the entirety of Xenoblade Chronicles, oh God, I would take way longer than that. God,
that's why
I wouldn't even be at Magna Forest.
I was freaking out because I'm like, what? How'd you do that? Did you just skip everything?
Yeah, the answer is a whole lot of drugs because that's what I would need to get through that game at a relative speed.
Just skip all the dialogue. It's just mechanics.
Skip all, yeah.
No,
skip all the dialogue.
No, only skip all the dialogue except for Rhines. That's it.
It's just alley-oop and rhyme time.
Right, no. God, yeah.
You're a lifesaver. Oh yeah, baby.
Oh man, that's someone's probably already making a mod for that. Anyway,
oh dude.
Anything else?
Yeah, I've like I said, I've definitely with the I keep thinking we've mentioned Bao, and now I'm stuck thinking about the freaking interactions between her and Blade's voice actor, and I'm just like, gosh, it is so relatable.
It's just so funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like the most recent one, she's just like, please leave him alone. Please, God, leave him alone.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
like I remember because I don't I know I follow Bao on Twitch, but I definitely don't always tune in for everything just because schedule. But because there's this one this news VTuber I follow, freaking False ID, and he covers like everything every freaking day. God bless him. This man gets no sleep. I swear. But like I just see him tweeting on Twitter being like, so Bao's freaking out again. Here's another 12-minute stream of Bao freaking out again.
It's like how workplaces have like day since last accident. It's like day since Bao freaks out.
Day since last horny.
Well, reset it.
It's like, oh, gotta reset the counter, and we've made it to 22 hours.
Jesus Christ, 22 hours. That's so much. Anyway.
That's probably an overestimation, to be honest.
I know, but what? But like, if someone were to stream for 22 hours, like, I mean, technically people have like 24-hour streams, so never mind. It's not that.
I mean, a good bit of time, people who are relatively big on the internet, like even when they aren't streaming, they're being relatively active on like Twitter or social media of some sort.
But anyway, is that all?
Yeah, I've got nothing else going on.
Got nothing else. Yeah. So, you know what? We'll go to Faye next. What have you been doing lately?
God, I've been doing a lot of things, playing role-playing games on obscure platforms that I think I've talked about on the cast before, that I will never reveal what games they are, especially now that I've like transitioned into like occasionally being staff for them. I have been, however, listening to a lot of The Yard, which is Ludwig's podcast. And I feel like it has prepared me to be a better podcaster.
Oh, shit.
because of just like how well that like Slime and Ludwig and I know their names, so I'm just gonna say those other guys are at like being like just holding a conversation, just like being bros, you know? I think that's like the informality of it is like so good, but it's also still like really like structured.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, it's really good stuff, and they're really fucking funny. And that's pretty much what I've been doing. And I've been doing that, doing the RP stuff, applying for jobs and things.
Hell yeah.
You know, just existing in general. I haven't really. The new League season came out recently. That's pretty good.
Oh gosh, League.
Yeah.
You know, they had a patch with durability that changed the pace of the game to where it's like it's no longer like a LeBlanc like does a 360 trick shot and kills you instantly and then teleports out of lane.
Yeah.
You actually have a chance to like do something, and I do kind of like that. The turret shots have gotten a lot stronger. I literally saw a Lux turret dive recently. They took one shot and it was like half their health, and it was sick.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw some League stuff on social media, but I didn't look too deep into it, so I assume that was the new patch. But yeah, that's cool. As for my week, I haven't done all too much. I'm still working on the stuff more content on the back. You know, there's not really anything in particular I can give until it comes out. As for I haven't watched anything in particular either, other than the Pokemon anime and let me see. There's one more thing. Oh, yeah, no, recently everyone in the apartment, including Austin over here, have been getting back into Magic.
Oh god, the pain.
Oh, like paper magic? Or...
Yeah, straight up paper magic.
The Gathering.
The Gathering.
God, are you guys playing like Commander, or are you playing like Modern or Standard?
I think we're just playing
Standard, I believe.
Standard. I don't really know the difference between that and Modern. I know definitely not Commander.
No, we're not. We're all too bad for that, so it's fine.
What did
We're
you
all
say,
too
PK?
bad.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
You're playing what format?
Oh, I'm just saying that we're all bad at playing, so.
Oh, so you're not even playing a format. You're just like putting cards together and playing.
We're just collecting and making a bunch of decks.
I think that's called like historic or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Historic.
Just
But yeah, it's been really fun, like getting back into Magic, because straight up just writer came in and they were just like, hey, playing Magic, and I was like, yeah, you know, I think I still got some Magic cards. It's fine. I won't get back into it. Fuck me.
I won't get back into it. One target run later, I won't get back into it.
I won't get back into it. Yeah.
I mean, the new Magic set is really cool. The stuff with like the Neo East Asian vibes it has.
Yeah, the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty.
Super fucking cool.
Yeah.
It is. You got it. There's like a frick load of ninjas.
I was playing on MTG Arena when it first came out, and I made a mech deck, which was really fun, but not meta at all. And I really regret it, because you kind of get like MTG Arena is kind of like a gacha game in the sense that you kind of get like a certain amount of like guaranteed like deck building tools. And I wasted them all on making a non-meta deck that I thought was funny and haha cool. So I kind of got screwed over there, and I'm not diamond anymore, which really sucks.
Yeah.
Oof, it be like that sometimes.
But yeah, getting back into Magic's been just really nice. It's been kind of been making me get back to wanting to go back to other card games, you know, like Yu-Gi-Oh, because it's been a little bit since I've touched Yu-Gi-Oh.
Don't say that.
I know.
No,
Don't
Yu-Gi-Oh.
say that. Stop saying that.
Not Ash Blossom.
What's the issue? Like,
I tried getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! Back when everybody was doing the craze around the new Yu-Gi-Oh game on Steam, the mobile port or whatever.
Oh, Duel Links?
Yeah, Duel Links.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah, I think that's Master Duel.
No.
whichever.
Yeah.
It's not important.
I think they have like 2. Yeah.
I just couldn't do it. Okay, so the thing about Magic, right?
Yeah.
Is that most abilities in the game are summarized to a tag. Yeah. So like you pick up a card, it says like fucking like haste or whatever on it. It says vigilance. It says and even whenever it does have its own ability, it's generally like 3 lines of text, if that. Whereas like Yu-Gi-Oh, you can pick up a card and it will literally have like a fucking short story on it for like and like you'll play that card and then that card will like that card has like a fucking 2 paragraphs of text on it. You play that card, it summons another card that has 3 paragraphs of text on it, and then that summons a spell card that has like 5 paragraphs of text on it, and then you summon a fucking like trap card that also has a paragraph of text on it. And it's like, as somebody who hasn't played Yu-Gi-Oh since like the days of like the fucking like the tournament where they were all trying to put each other inside of like the millennial items and shit, where they were like, oh no, I lost, I'm going to the Shadow Realm. Yeah. That's where I quit. That was the end point for me. I never did the card games on motorcycles. I never went further than that. And like, it's just it's so overwhelming. That's and like somebody will play a card and they'll be like, okay, here you go, you can read this, and then they start digging through their deck to get the second card that card summons, and when they play that card, I'm like, okay, well I have to read that too now, and it just becomes me reading a novel of fucking like active text in a game that I don't even want to fucking play in the first place.
Yeah, every card just becomes Pot of Greed, but it was Pot of Greed, but the B movie script. It's like everybody knows what Pot of Greed does, but now does everybody know what the B movie script is? But now it's a Yu-Gi-Oh effect.
Does everybody know what Pot of Greed does? If Pot of Greed summoned 2 other Pot of Greeds and a special creature?
No, unfortunately. But that'd be
oh my god, I'm getting a headache because now I'm just hearing Pot of Greed. It's like I'm watching the B movie, but then like on another screen, I've got like a original series Yu-Gi-Oh, and I just have them all the clips of them yelling what Pot of Greed does. And I'm just like,
they're all, I don't know if this is true, but in my head, they're all inconsistent. They're not the same ruling. And they never will be. Because the old Yu-Gi-Oh anime did not give a single flying fuck about being consistent with the actual rulings of the game. And I love that for them. I absolutely adore that for them.
I love it.
Like, as somebody who played like the Yu-Gi-Oh games on like the Game Boy Advance and stuff, it's definitely like, oh man, it is painful playing the cards and then watching the show, and you're like, oh man, that is so illegal.
I always think of is
like... but as somebody who is appreciates like the plot progression it provides, I can understand, because nobody wants to hear being like, all right, now because this card's out, all these specific cards have 300 freaking extra attack. No, I just want to see Yugi just destroy the moon and kill Fish Guy.
I love the Yu-Gi-Oh anime purely because of like it feels like they just thought that a card game anime would be the boringest shit to a kid, which I mean I think it could be interesting, not to a kid at least, but like they just decided we're gonna go in the completely opposite direction. We're gonna fucking go nuts. Your grandpa is now in a VHS. How does that feel, Yugi? Now you have to fucking. Now you need to fucking fight all these assholes on this island. Oh, anyway, but I love Yu-Gi-Oh! It's great. I love it. Card games on motorcycles is still the best. Unfortunately, like, I feel bad because card games on motorcycles never actually happen in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, so I zoned out. Did you talk about the time when Yugi blew up the moon?
Yeah, I mentioned because in his first fight with Maiko Tsunami, he gets cornered because Mako runs a freaking sea monster deck. And you know what sea monsters love? They love that dank water stuff. And Yugi was...
Moon. He
literally blew up the fucking moon.
He was like, you know what? I have seen Dragon Ball Z.
That's literally.
It's like giant soldier of stone, yeet the moon.
The Dragon Ball scene. God, I remember watching that as a kid and being like, even as a kid, I was like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know, Plague of Gripes talked about how they blew up the moon in DBZ, but he never talked about how they blew up the moon in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think that's a severe injustice.
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
That's money. Instead,
of course, we can't forget, if we're talking about moon explosions, we can't forget the Sonic Adventure 2 moon explosion.
And then the moon is back.
Can we also talk about how his name is Mako Tsunami?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Man, there's worse names at Yu-Gi-Oh than
Oh, I mean, I like it more than I like Mako Tsunami more than Weevil Underwood. If you name a kid Weevil, you know he's gotta be the most greasy motherfucker.
To Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, he's related to Carrie Underwood. He's her greasy like younger cousin.
No, because Yu-Gi-Oh took place before Carrie Underwood.
Oh shit, you're right. So it'd be old.
He's Carrie Underwood's father.
Oh my god, Weevil Underwood is Carrie Underwood's like greasy, gross ass dad.
I do.
You know he has to be greasy with a name like Weevil and with a voice like that.
This isn't exclusive to Yu-Gi-Oh! It's in like every like merchandise kid anime, but like I love because every character needs to be in the theme of the thing they use. Like they do it in Beyblade also, and I fucking love it. I just can't. Like, oh man, I fucking love dinosaurs. My name is fucking Rex.
Rex Raptor.
Oh god,
his last name
Everybody, yeah, remember Weevil's dumb flunky buddy, Rex Raptor?
Yeah, everyone only remembers him because Joey beats his ass and gets red eye.
Joey beats his ass.
I think Joey has the best name in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yes,
Joey Wheeler
is
dude,
a strong name. That is a strong name.
That is a name I would see on the streets, and I would turn heel and run.
Yeah, it's better than Yu-Gi-Moto.
You know, like those videos of like the Sigma male thing, and it has that music playing.
Oh my god, yes.
Playing 24/7 in presence to Joey Wheeler.
Bruh, yeah, for real.
I love that Joey meme of it's just him saying use non-binary. That's cool.
That's cool.
Oh god, but yeah, no, it's like the Yu-Gi-Oh anime is like I love it so much. We didn't even talk about Kaiba, which I'm kind of surprised. Kaiba.
Yeah, I know. It's surprising that we haven't talked about Kaiba
like
at
what
all.
Elon Musk wants to be, but fails every day at, honestly.
He fails immensely hard because Kaiba is the hardest, pettiest dude in like most, if not all, of anime.
Maybe all of media, honestly. I don't know.
All of media, yeah. He made like realistic holograms. He turned those holograms into a frisbee.
Yes.
Everybody remembers the dumb like dual frisbee thing he did that I don't think they ever used after that one episode.
They used it like twice, I think.
Because I remember the episode where he kicked Joey's ass with it.
No, I think he does it again with Yugi in like in the next episode or something. Because then he needs to fight Yugi because he has Mokuba or something.
Yeah.
And they use the disc there, I think. It doesn't really
add
much, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they never use it ever again, because I think that was another toy they were just trying to sell. I don't know. I feel like
it's
that
possible.
was an actual accessory. But then they had the brilliant idea of the fucking, the oh my god, what are they called? The arm things.
The arm things. The dual disc?
The dual discs, yeah. Oh my god, I forgot their name.
Yeah, that's right, because up until then, they were just on those big arenas.
Yeah, no, it wasn't until after Duel's Kingdom, they get the dual discs, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird thinking about that now. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird thinking about that, where they were just stuck in, like, this big-ass stadium.
Yeah, and then also, like, that whatever. I'm done with Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, Magic's been really.
I'm not done with Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm holding the podcast hostage.
Oh, okay.
We're holding a puck. We haven't even gotten to GX, PK.
Oh, you're right. Shit.
I'm holding a gun to PK's head right now. If you for audio listeners.
For audio listeners,
there's a gun to PK's head right now. I'm not done with Yu-Gi-Oh. We need to discuss your guys' shit opinion on and I haven't even watched the podcast episode. I don't need to because you guys said that Yu-Gi-Oh peaked at card games with motorcycles. What are you smoking? What are you on? How drunk are you? What's wrong with
you? Me and Toble didn't go super in depth within the last episode, but I think Toble can listen. 5Ds was amazing. Listen.
5Ds was definitely where I think a lot of it's definitely where we definitely tailed off because I don't remember anything of Zexal.
A lot of people, at least for me and Austin, I know a lot of other people, but 5Ds was the last time people cared about the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, and also when people cared about Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess.
You know, last time I cared about the Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
When's that?
At the end, the last time Joey Wheeler was on screen that's when I stopped caring.
You know, that's completely fair. I feel like that a part of me did die when I watched later Yu-Gi-Oh and Joey wasn't there.
Dude, yeah.
It only made me upset because GX has an episode where they have some duelists battling in the background, and it's some dude that looks like Joey too. And I got excited for a second because I was like, Joey, and I was like, no, it's not Joey.
It's not Joey. It's not Joey. So the tournament arcs and this is what I love about old school Yu-Gi-Oh is everything is a tournament.
Every arc.
Do you like tournament arcs? Do you like Boku no Hero Academia? Do you like their tournament arc? Do you like Yu Yu Hakusho? Do you like tournament arc? Go watch Yu-Gi-Oh. If you haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh and you like tournament arcs, go watch Yu-Gi-Oh right now.
Yeah, the first 2 or 3 seasons are tournament arcs, and then after that it's weird fantasy shenanigans.
Okay, Faye, don't please. Listen, I do actually kind of like tournament arcs, even though I know they're objectively flawed. It's fine.
I love tournament arcs. That's my shit.
Yeah,
that's my shit. I screamed whenever there was a tournament arc announced for My Hero Academia. I screamed. I literally screamed. and the tuning exams, the tuning exams are the best arc in Naruto. Period. And I don't even believe that, but right now I'm passionate, and so I'm gonna say it.
Okay, hold up. Then what do you think is the best arc then, Faye, in Naruto?
In Naruto?
Oh dear.
Oh god, there's so much to unpack there. Are we talking about just base Naruto, or are we including Shippuden in this?
I want to say base Naruto for now. Shippuden's another beast, you know?
Okay. I think the best arc in base Naruto is, it would probably be the fight between Naruto and Sasuke. I think that's probably where it peaks.
I probably want to say I like that whole arc of rescuing Sasuke because, I like how we finally get, all the other characters we've seen in the series, they get the fucking showdown, and they almost fucking die until they get fucking rescued by San.
Though I am a huge fan of, the aftermath of the Chunin exam, where it's Gaara and Naruto fighting.
That's a pretty cool, because, they're the same and shit.
I mean, anytime, you start Biju fighting on Naruto, it's hype, there's no question about that. But my favorite arc on, I don't remember what it's called, but the Shadow Tournament where they're all on a blimp or some shit, and
that's Battle City. Am I correct?
No. And if it is Battle City, it's the end of Battle City because they all have millennial pieces and shit.
Yeah,
and they're
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, it was Battle City because that's where they introduced Merrick.
Yeah, and like Cypher the Sky Dragon is like curled around the fucking blimp, and they're like, it's like that's sick. That's the peak of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is those fights on the blimp?
Actually, yeah.
Oh yeah, like the end fights of Battle City were pretty friggin' baller.
Like the peak of like the OG anime for like I think honestly. Yeah, no, for real, yeah, because like you get that cool scene where like married sister was like, "You're gonna lose because I already saw the future," and Kaiba was like, "No, I'm not gonna use the fucking Egyptian god cards. I'm gonna sacrifice God to summon Blue Eye.
I don't need to use Obelisk to the Tormentor. I'll sacrifice a god." He sacrificed it. It was so cool. Like, oh my god. We're just it's just the end where I think Kaiba's just my husbando, guys.
Kaiba was like, I'm not even gonna use my deck. I have this deck. It's called the Pendulum deck. And then he put it down on the thing, and everybody groaned. And that's how it ended, because the guy he was facing against just quit as he put that Pendulum deck.
If the Yu-Gi-Oh was realistic, I would actually love that. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna use my Pendulum deck.
Yeah, dude. Like, I've heard people who've still in the Yu-Gi-Oh! And like playing the card game, and I feel like Pendulum is the least popular gimmick.
I still look in there, and I'm still like, I like to get caught. I like to keep up with what's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pendulum sucks. Yeah, it's terrible.
They're like, I'm gonna use my Pendulum deck, and they're like, oh god, fuck, just put me in the Shadow Realm.
It's like, all right, I just fucking forfait. I got like a fucking 5 Ash Blossoms and shit. Like, fuck this.
I don't need this. But yeah, that's gonna be my week.
That's gonna be my.
I think we got on a bit of a tangent, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we talked a whole lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! There. I'm not. I don't really. I don't really know what my first hint was, but.
Wait, we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh shit, I got the whole conversation real. Oh god, that was great. No, that was fun. But yeah. That's
man.
So we'll get right into the news. Sorry, I'm losing it.
Did you even say anything about your week? Because I think we just went on the phase week.
I talked.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's how Magic got brought up, and then we went to this Yu-Gi-Oh tangent.
Again, I didn't really do too. Wait, I also started Yakuza 7, which has been fun because Dragon Quest. That's it. It's Dragon Quest.
Yeah, bro. Who needs a real life titty when there's just Dragon Quest?
Really think about it, says Ichiban. And then he gets shot. Anyway, we'll go into the news.
God. It's really great when we have a giant tangent that isn't just me destroying everybody's minds with VTubers.
I'm always interested to hear what people gotta say, even if it's about
I did warn you. I did warn you. I tweeted at you. I said, listen, I'm coming on the podcast. We're going to talk about this controversial opinion.
And that's fair.
And we straightened it out. We've reached a new conclusion.
Yeah. We've
reached a new conclusion.
I've
Yu-Gi-Oh!
the timeline.
The alternate timeline of the podcast just becomes worse and worse. And now, I don't know now. I can't see the future.
It's like, you know how like in Majora's Mask they have to like summon the 4 giants to like fix the moon every now and then?
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's me coming onto the podcast.
Oh
god. Yes.
Oh my god. Just being the
Yeah. That's me. I'm the one making that sound.
Oh, man. Okay, new releases and trailers. Unfortunately, there's really not that much that's come out recently. Most of the big shows, movies have already come out in the past week and stuff. So whatevs. So here's all we got. Bob's Burgers movie's out. I have no opinion. I haven't watched the show. It's probably.
I love Bob's Burgers. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll let you continue on real quick because I don't really have much to chip in.
I love Bob's Burgers. It's so funny. It's like I think the thing that got me into it originally is that the dad is voiced by the same guy who voices Archer, and I love Archer. So like I've watched a lot of Bob's Burgers, but anything I've watched from Bob's Burgers has like not been in continuity order. It's just been like random episodes here and there that I've stumbled across, and I absolutely like adore it. I also played the God, I don't remember if it's an Adult Swim game. The one where it's like the Family Guy card game that's on like Congregate. I've played that.
And my god.
I had a Bob's Burgers deck, so I'm kind of like invested in Bob's Burgers, you know?
Like just like, all right, everyone get their decks out and pull out your Bob's Burger cards. You know, that's what I should get, Bob's Burger sleeves for my cards. You know?
Oh my god, yes.
The guy was like, I don't need gods. I'm using my Bob's Burgers deck.
Bruh. So just someone's hungry burger.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. But yeah, for me, like I have nothing against it because I from what I've heard, it's a pretty good show. I haven't watched it yet. That's all. I got other things I'm watching at the moment. And this movie, I'm especially not necessarily saying until I watch at least more of the actual show. So yeah, that's.
Yeah, when it comes to Bob, like I haven't watched much of it, but the few episodes of Bob's Burgers I have watched, I liked it. I like the humor. It's very like it's definitely one of those things. It's still got like some. I haven't watched a lot of recent episodes, mind you, so I don't know if it holds true. But I feel like there's a lot more soul still left in it than in comparison to like say Family Guy or like maybe The Simpsons.
I don't think Family Guy ever had a soul.
I mean, it maybe in the like the beginning, you know, because I mean, you can't like say all like, except for like some specific things that are just blatant cash grabs or they're just.
No, I think the intention of Family Guy was to not have a soul.
I can confirm that. No, they put a lot of effort to it. The show, like Seth MacFarlane wanted to basically make his own Simpsons. He worked in the industry for like a good while at that point, and also like they fought to get Family Guy to keep going because it got canceled twice during its running because Fox doesn't play anything else outside of Simpsons and King of the Hill. Well, at least at the time, not anymore. I think I don't watch Fox.
Love King of the Hill. King of the Hill's
great. Oh my god. Like it's kind of
King of the Hill is ballin'.
I like King of the Hill still so good. Like it's.
I mean, it stopped running in 2010, and it's still really good.
It's still really good. It's very it's very topical. It approaches a lot of topics in like a very like kind of like realistic, but still like a realistic point of view from that time frame, and in sort of a tasteful kind of way, I believe.
Yeah, I remember growing up that like the progression of shows was like The Simpsons would be on, and then after The Simpsons there'd be King of the Hill, and then King of the Hill would end. You would hear the dun 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 dun, and then would like the credit would end, and then Family Guy would come on, and my dad would immediately turn off the TV. And that was me, my life as a teenager.
Also, because I watched Family Guy once in front of my mom. She saw that scene where it was like Cookie Monster smoking like a cookie joint or something, and then she was like, "No, you're not watching this," and I was like, "I don't get it," because I was a child.
I don't get the joke. What's the punchline?
No, I understand.
Yeah, what is the funny joke?
I didn't get why my mom was so upset for me looking at that. I was like, I don't see the what. I was a child. I didn't know.
The Cookie Monster is a forbidden beast.
But I could still watch Cookie Monster on Sesame Street. She just.
He who shall not be named.
He who shall not be named the Cookie Monster.
It's like I said before. If like Shaggy and Scooby decided to become cannibals, humanity's doomed because they have like a void for a stomach. They don't get full.
Bro, they have Kirby levels of stomach.
Except they don't suck. They can just eat.
And then there's two of them. Oh lord, the internet would like to like to stop.
No, not like that. No.
But I've never been particularly fond of Family Guy. I think it has its charm, but I don't think Family Guy in terms of like being a show and like being kind of like unique and being like something that draws me in personally. It doesn't compare to The Simpsons. It doesn't compare to even like American Dad, and it doesn't compare to King of the Hill. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, for dang sure.
That's completely fair. My whole thing is like I don't know, I'm still very mixed on like early Family Guy, but for the most part, I will say that those earlier seasons had a lot more effort and care put into it than like the recent stuff where like you could tell the writers are just dead. They don't like making the show, period. Characters aren't consistent. Like no one really like the most you get out of new episodes of Family Guy is they have like one or two jokes that are funny, and that's it. The rest of the episode happens and you're just like it's
Also, I'm not trying to cancel Family Guy, but I do think it's a little weird that Cleveland is voiced by a white guy.
Is Cleveland voiced by a white guy? I thought he was voiced by
oh. I'm gonna look this up now.
I have up and my browser is.
It's the same guy who voices Herbert.
Right. I mean, that's because Family Guy also does like a bunch of multiple voice actors of like one person, like Simpsons. Goddamn. The thing is
Yeah. Let's see. Supporting character, yada yada.
Crap. What was it? But yeah, no, I can't.
Oh wait.
But yeah, Family Guy is it's there. You know? But next up in the news is
voiced by Mike Henry and Arif Zahir.
Oh fuck. Oh my god, sorry. Next up in the news, we have a student film here. This isn't necessarily this isn't any theatrical film or anything. This is something that's going to be uploaded to YouTube, but this is Legend of Pee-Pee. It's a student film made by creator Papa Julia on Twitter. Basically, I've been seeing this around. A bunch of artists have been promoting it over there. It's again, it's a student film made by this person. It's really well 2D animated. It has these adorable cat designs. The main character is amazing. I love his design. Tiny little gremlin that he is. Also, I know a couple of the artists who works on this. Bayboy, artist I follow on Twitter. I believe they did some of the backgrounds for it, which is really cool. I know some of the animators who've worked on I believe like Hell of a Boss and like Has-Been Hotel worked on this. A lot of like internet animators, you know. Are you still there, Ross?
I love that. I always love it when the internet is working on something. Like I don't know, like I feel like there's a lot of potential in like releasing and creating content on the internet, especially when it comes to animation, to the point to where like a lot of times like these big animation studios are like not necessarily required anymore.
It depends on the artist and their skill, I guess. I'm not 100% sure because I myself am not an artist. But yeah, no, I agree that I always like when a bunch of artists like just make their own independent project that's not like corporate owned, you know. It's just them showing off their craft, you know. Other than that, next up in the news is I found this just randomly. It's Phil. I don't know how to say his last name. I assume both one of you can. I make Austin read names for me because I'm stupid.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Where?
Trailers. Phil Tippett.
Third. Phil Tippett.
Listen,
Phil Tippett. I was surprised that you were having me read Phil Tippett and not the one in the stories.
Everywhere.
Anyway, Phil Tippett.
Mad God. It's a stop motion horror movie on Shudder. Shudder, for those who don't know, it's like a horror streaming service. It's from what I've heard from like other horror fanatics and like diehards. It's a pretty good service. They got a lot of really old obscure stuff on there that you don't really find anywhere else except maybe like Tubi.
but that's because Tubi is like the bargain bin barrel of streaming services, so anything's in there. But yeah, lately they've been making a lot more originals, and one of them is this one. It's completely stop motion. I believe the person who worked on it worked on, I want to say, as a visual effects artist for the new Star Wars movies, I think. And the writer is for a writer from Snowpiercer. So yeah.
Can I just say I absolutely love stop motion. And even though I don't watch horror movies, I think it's really cool that somebody is even bothering to make a stop motion movie in like the year of like CG, you know?
Yeah, like there's very few people who still do make stop motion stuff. The only one I can think of is Leica Studios, which they keep making them and they're really good, but they'll never make back their money, unfortunately. They just have a bunch of money so they can just keep making these. So what else?
Second thing I had to say.
Yeah, sorry.
Why is the trailer on IGN?
Because IGN likes to just retweet random trailers of anything geek culture, I guess. I don't know. IGN just pumps out a bunch of trailers for random stuff all the time. It's just the most randomest shit also. But yeah, it looks really cool. I really like it because it's really weird because I can't think of that much horror animation, especially for stop motion. Again, Leica's done that kind of for some of their movies, but it's been a while since I've seen a straight up stop motion horror. The last thing I saw was the last thing I could think similar to this was one of the artists for Silent Hill 3. He made this really disturbing stop motion short film on YouTube. You can go check it out. I'll probably link it in the description below also. I could probably find it here in a sec too to put into Discord, but yeah, this looks really cool. I'm really interested. It's kind of giving me what was it? Damn it! It's this old horror movie. I think it was called My Bloody Valentine. It's very similar because it has this a minor underground and it's all dark theme horror and shit. Sorry, I'm running out of breath talking.
You're fine.
We're doing good when we've been talking for so long, but it hardly feels like time's passed.
Yeah, no, a lot of time has actually passed. But yeah. Last up for the new releases. I only put this here because I know Pixel doesn't really care for My Little Pony, and I like antagonizing him. So there's nothing to really say here. I haven't seen that new My Little Pony.
I used to be. As you two are aware, I used to be an avid brony, or whatever the female equivalent of that is. A Pegasister, is that what they say?
I think so.
I've never ever thought about that.
Yeah, it's not one of those things you think about often, but you know what? It makes sense.
And the thing is, I was super into fucking Friendship is Magic too, and I didn't even know that.
I don't know. It was I forgot where it was that I stopped watching. I think it was after the arc with Discord that I just stopped watching.
I think that was season 2 or 3. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll have to take a look at this. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I haven't gone back and rewatched My Little Pony though, so I don't know if it was just a matter of me being a teenager who needed some sort of outlet for being different, I guess.
I don't know. Shoot.
I rewatched it not too long ago with my brothers because they put it on as a joke and we all got into it. I still think it holds up. It's
good. It's good stuff.
It's still pretty good.
And Rainbow Dash is a lesbian icon.
Oh, truly. There was this post I saw on Twitter the other day where it was someone found this whole category of My Little Pony memes of people being upset of people saying Rainbow Dash is gay. And I'm oh no.
Oof, man.
Literally Rainbow Dash.
She's literally
hello?
It's oh right, so we can see where the neurons aren't connecting here.
She doesn't have to buy a pride flag. She is a walking pride flag.
She is the pride flag.
Bro, it's her it is literally her color palette.
Yeah, no, but I haven't seen that new My Little Pony. I've only heard a few things. I heard it was pretty alright, but that's it. Uh, well, we'll
If
get into
I
the actual. We'll get into some actual news stories now because that's it for the new release and trailers. So.
mm-hmm.
So first up, this isn't really a news story. This is literally just a post that Jorge Guiterres. God damn it! I use every time I'm recording. I can't say his last name, but when I'm not
Gutierrez?
recording, yes, I know. Like my brain can't. Like I can't.
It's okay.
Like it bugs me because I could say his name perfectly when I'm not recording, but whatevs.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
He's been making this western animated movie, Kung Fu Space Punch, which I don't know the premise, but I love his stuff. Book of Life, LT Gray is really good. And he basically just made a Twitter post, like I think it might have been like the other day, just saying, yeah, I'm not moving my movie's not going to Netflix. No. just
Not
no.
dealing with that Netflix.
Yeah, no, because Netflix has been terrible this past.
Netflix has been playing has been pulling the Breaking Bad meme of Netflix making the worst possible business decisions, and it's just Walter White doing his shit.
I will say, I made a mistake here.
Yeah.
Even after reading his name, I thought when it said Kung Fu Space Punch and like it said like, you know, a fucking Kung Fu Space Western,
yeah.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a Western, you know? Like like this is gonna be like spaghetti Western type beat, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Oh my gosh.
And then I opened up the screenshots and I was like, oh my god, like I unintentionally whitewashed this show, and I think it's a lot more exciting. I really love the aesthetics of it. It reminds me of God, what was that show with like the fucking pinatas and shit?
Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
I love that growing. There was a game on Xbox that had like a free trial that I was obsessed with playing over and over and over again.
Ooh.
That was just like it was like Viva Pinata, but it was like kind of like Zoo Tycoon with the pinatas.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, man, I loved Viva Pinata as a Wii taught, and then just seeing that, and I'm like, man, I probably would have loved the shit out of this game because my kid brain just loves that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if he worked on that, though I wouldn't be surprised. I may just think that because like most of his work is very deep within his culture, and it's always I really like his stylized look. And but yeah, you know, good on. I mean, I believe it either got canned from Netflix or he just was like, no, it's not coming to Netflix. He just says, yeah, no, it's not going to be on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all for that. Next up, this is thanks to Cartoon Crave for letting me find this. This is that's where I usually get most of my news. I found out about this another animated short film coming out soon, Captain Zero Into the Abyss. I thought it'd be a little interesting because this has a whole ass page and it's not coming out on any streaming service per se. It's on this website called Eventive. I've never heard of this website. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's apparently going to be a short animated film that's about some teenager obsessed with social media and living a double life as a superhero and struggling with depression and stuff. Yeah, some of the art. I'm trying to find the particular style it's trying to remind me of. It reminds me of like early Static Shock, which like, from the promotional art I've seen. But yeah, as for the director, I can't say much, but they do have a little excerpt for him down here. Let me just fucking copy this into the Discord. It can. Oh my god, what is going on? I can't. Okay, whoa. My mouse is acting terrible. What the fuck?
Bruh.
There we go. Jeez. But yeah, it looks somewhat interesting. Apparently this is, I believe, for Mental Health Awareness Month. It's going to be a 3X. It's gonna be in 3 acts apparently. So like I assume like 3 short films, like something similar to like a miniseries. So I'm interested in
Maybe.
it. I mean, I think it's an effective way to make kids be aware to something like that, especially since superhero media has been, like the biggest hype here. But yeah, no, they have a. I don't know how to
It's
say
been
his
pretty hyped.
name, unfortunately. If you can,
Where's
I put
is it
in
on the site?
put in a recording booth from the little excerpt for him.
Oh.
Nice.
Lamarge Ame is. I'm assuming it's pronounced like Ame.
His and then
I'm. His suicide major depression.
Yeah,
Yep.
and apparently he's the CEO and creative director of Cutting Edge Animation, which I never have heard of them before, but that's cool, honestly. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Oh, you graduated from Full Sail University
with a bachelor's in film.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks real neat. Again, this will be another thing I'll add to the description below because I've never heard of this website and it looks neat by all means. I like some of the art. It also kind of reminds me of like Venom art because it has a lot of Venom faces, like Image Comics stuff, But yeah.
Mm-hmm. It looks interesting for sure. And I mean, good superhero media that isn't like
standard MCU.
Something that's not Marvel or DC.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like I like the MCU, but I also don't like it that much. It's kind of like
it's one of those things. It feels like it has to happen. It's like not one of those things. It's like oh, okay. Oh, hey, look. Oh, they're making a thing of my favorite superhero, funny McX guy, It's like, oh, here's this Marvel property. I guess we gotta make them exist now.
I love the MCU, but it's gotten to the point to where like the MCU feels like an overly endearing parent, where it's like it's always there, and it's like constantly there's new Marvel movie, and it's like always good, like it's like people are like always talking about it, it's always getting press release.
For me it's like
it's kind of suffocating.
The problem with it is just like I feel like it's become like super commercialized where a lot of the directors are working on these movies. They get to do some stuff with their film, but a lot of the time it's just they're not really there to put their own creative vision. This is a product by the end.
Yeah.
Like Sam Raimi worked on Multiverse of Madness, and I haven't seen it yet, but though I have heard that he does get to do a lot of cool stuff in that, but in the end, it's still a product.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things, like, this isn't early MCU anymore, where, they were still feeling the waters, trying to get everything set up. It's a point where it's established where it's like a successful thing. So you can't even say want for it to flop through either because then it would be potential trashing of X favorite Marvel property, and it would just also be like one of those things like, oh, it'd be like what? This failed? But Marvel, kind of deals.
Yeah, it's funny whenever I see a company try to be like, man, Marvel's really successful. I gotta do that own thing. Like, I think it was Sony that tried to do they tried to make the Dark Universe where they tried to make like a whole cinematic universe of all like the old Universal monsters like Frankenstein and the Mummy and stuff. And the only movie that ever came out of that whole project was The Mummy with Tom Cruise back in I think it was 2016 when it came out.
Wait, that was part of a cinematic universe? It was
supposed to be part of a cinematic universe.
Whoa, that became its own thing. That's wild.
They tried doing it, but it all failed because that movie did terribly. No one cared about it, talked about it. The only thing that everyone knew about it was the fucked up trailer for the movie where they didn't have any of the music in. They only had the sound effects of the actors and stuff. So it's just Tom Cruise screaming and nothing else.
Yeah.
It's cool seeing new superhero media that isn't just automatically like a new Marvel or DC thing. Because I don't know, I feel like I like seeing people create their own heroes and not feel obligated to be like, oh, I'm gonna make Wolverine 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I can make Wolverine too, but his gimmick is that he's Australian and not Canadian.
Yeah, I mean the only one I can think of like that's popular that's not like superhero related media that isn't like MCU and DC is like Invincible and The Boys on Amazon, and that's the only one.
Yeah, and both of those are on like season, like between seasons right now.
Yeah. The Boys released a fucking animated anthology recently, which actually that is something else I did in my week. I watched that, which I liked it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it's really like, like it's blatantly violent, like the series itself, it's supposed to be dark and edgy and all that, and some of it's definitely there in that animated stuff, but there's some there where I'm like, wow, that's really cool actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that I wholly recommend it if you're not someone who's a fan of obscene amount of body violence and all that.
Body violence and gross out kind of shit.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of gross out stuff in that. There's one short in there. I won't talk about exactly what it is because I kind of want to see people's reactions to it. But like, it's really gross. Like this girl becomes friends with this really gross thing. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not fun. But yeah. This looks really cool. Go check it out. It's in the link in the description below. Captain Zero into the Abyss. Yeah. Next up in the news, it's Samuel L. Jackson. He's voicing a new character in the new Garfield animated movie with Chris Pratt.
The new Gorf.
He's voicing as Garfield's father.
Man, the last Garfield movie I watched, other than the animated one,
was Tale of Two Kitties.
Yep, Tale of Two Kitties. And I loved the Garfield spin on a tale of the Prince and the Pauper.
Yeah.
Which is it bugs me that it's a Prince and the Pauper spin, but it uses the Tale of Two Cities name scheme, and I get it. Hey, haha, Kitty Cities is funny. But that's an entirely different story, an entirely different can of worms, an entirely different dish of lasagna.
Entirely different dish of lasagna. Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Oh, fucking those Pilot Red Sun videos. It's what I do, John.
It's what I do.
Garfield. But yeah, Samuel Jackson's gonna be in Garfield.
He's gonna be in Garfield.
I want him to bust through the door and be.
I just want him to give a very disappointed mood. Is
Samuel Jackson's character gonna be like, I'm disappointed in you, son, and then Garfield's gonna have an existential crisis about how he isn't good enough for his father?
I feel like that's probably how it'll go, but at the same time, I'll appreciate if it goes that way because I feel like that just happens.
Yeah. Listen, like, I only added this because it's Garfield. Everyone loves Garfield. I think if I didn't mention this, I might die because Garfield.
Because Garfield would be outside this door.
Yes, he'll be like, it's what I do, and then kill me.
Mm-hmm. It's what I do, John, and then you just die.
Awesome, yeah. Only me, though. He leaves everyone else alone. But yeah, no, it's Samuel Jackson in Garfield. That's it. That's all. It's the same as when everyone found out Chris Pratt is voicing Garfield. That's it. It's weird.
That's it. Why. That's the whole tweet.
But, maybe this movie would be probably better if Samuel Jackson was allowed to curse in it. Like, he just fucking, he goes on, a fucking cursing tirade against Garfield of how much of a piece of shit he is.
I feel like he would just give him a very disappointed motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't they allowed to have, one curse word?
No.
I kind of doubt it in the Garfield movie, because the last Garfield movies I remember were the animated ones, in the show style.
Yeah, there's a couple.
No, I'm pretty sure, in PG-13 movies, you're allowed to have one curse word.
You can say one cuss word, and that's it.
If they do not give it to Samuel L. Jackson, that would be the stupidest decision they've ever made.
True that.
I'm tired of this mother trucking lasagna.
Mother trucking lasagna.
God, it'd be like it's like it's like how Will Smith was super obsessed with like I never curse in any of my songs or any stuff I do. You could still be hard without cursing. And then Samuel L. Jackson's over here like that is my whole entire career almost.
I don't think it's his entire career, but I will say that I think the way they should use that one curse word should be something involving lasagna, and it probably should be him telling Garfield to like shut up and eat his motherfucking lasagna.
Yeah, that'd be great. So yeah, that's the end of the news. We're the next news, Dragon Ball Super Hero.
Dragon Ball
Superhero.
Yeah, superhero.
I just realized my mistake because I didn't look at it close. It's Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, I'm glad it's setting in for you, and you're finding it as silly as it sounds.
In Super Saiyan God, Goku, or whatever it is.
Now with the one drip jacket that everybody has.
Oh yeah, now it's just drip Goku.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is interesting. This is gonna be Crunchyroll's first ever global theatrical release.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is gonna be released everywhere. I believe they saw the results of how DBZ Super Broly did super well in U.S. theaters. Like I think it was like top 6 of like in the theaters or whatever.
Something like that.
Top 10.
It was pretty big.
Like, it did really well, and since anime movies have been making a really big like they've been kind of the anime movies have been doing major numbers lately. Like the Demon Slayer movie fucking was like the top viewed anime movie in Japan for like a month or something.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking the Jutsu Kaisen movie came out, and apparently that was like that was really up there on the US box offices apparently. I was like, really? Goddamn.
It still hasn't came out on streaming, by the way.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, it's still like movie theaters only, if I remember correctly.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But yeah, Dragon Ball Superhero. I'm kind of hyped for this movie. I like the CGI style, and I like that it's I don't know. It looks really cool, and I like the poster for it because it doesn't have Goku on it. It has Gohan and Piccolo fighting the new antagonist.
Bro, I love the fact that Gohan, Gohan being like the strongest of all time, and then doing nothing with it is like the cringiest thing ever. So I really love the fact that like we get to see him power up in the trailer, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and he's got his glasses too. He takes them all, and I'm like, yo. It's awesome. I also just think it's a cool poster, just legitimately. It looks really neat. I'm interested in it. That's because I'm a Dragon Ball fanboy. I know what I am. I know I unfortunately.
Shoot, there's too much Dragon Ball. If I have to sit down and dedicate myself to it. So I'm set with being eternally behind on it for a while.
It's funny because I remember Bray2 said the same thing, and then we alleviated that issue by just watching DBZ Bridge. So yeah.
Yep.
Because it's
Space Australia.
It's like if they killed this fucking space Old Yeller. How do you guys have that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, this is really interesting for Crunchyroll. I don't know, maybe Crunchyroll will become the one of the bigger streaming services. I don't know. Maybe they'll.
I mean, it is like one of the main anime streaming services right now.
Yeah, it's the de facto one, I guess.
Because I mean, it's consumed Funimation.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were just like, yeah, we don't need two of this anymore. It's kind of dumb, and they just was like, all right, Crunchyroll, you're in.
That is kind of weird. Like, what is like the de facto like anime streaming service?
Like, if it's not Crunchyroll, I can't imagine what it is. I mean, like, if we really want to be serious here, there are some de facto streaming services that we really probably shouldn't platform for the sake of.
Yeah. that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
it's
I didn't
like
say those
it's like
ones.
yar har and fiddly dee, but at the same time,
So this
for
podcast is on Spotify.
Yeah,
yeah.
this podcast is on Spotify. Thank you to our platform Anchor and all that. Yeah, I realize I should say thank you to them a little bit more often.
Just like,
you should do
please.
an ad for Anchor and then send it into them. Try to make money off of it.
Actually,
You
yeah,
need to
I
get
could probably
sponsors
do
on the
that. I
podcast,
could,
PK.
but,
You need to start reaching out to Honey and stuff like that.
I've thought about sponsors. It's just my main thing was like I need to have like a slightly bigger.
No, just hype it up. Don't
and
talk about the actual numbers. We're doing fine.
And I feel like another thing that would probably need to be done too is that we need to keep like I think we said we were going weekly like weeks ago, and then just like several different scheduling things happened to where we were not doing it every week.
Listen, I was out of state and I said we were go weekly the week before.
I feel like it was before that too.
I meant to do an episode the week before. Yeah, no, I meant to do an episode the week before, but Pixel was busy with stuff, and I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do the episode
Fine,
without him,
Pixel
I guess.
isn't around. Just ask me instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
I feel like me and Pixel are such dominant personalities that when we're put into the same podcast together, it doesn't like mesh well. But like that's like kind of like you can tag us in and out, you know, like you can alternate us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like you guys are like my strikers. I get it. It's like in a fighting game.
I'm just the debuff.
Oh man, there's been more.
I'm the debuff support.
No, Austin, you're not.
You come out and you're like, "Have you watched fucking Bao recently?" And they're just like, "Oh God, VTubers," and they get like disgusted and they like lose like defense or something.
Austin's like my quirky like anime sidekick where he doesn't fight good.
Yeah, I'm basically like the wild card like attack character.
He's Krillin.
Oh my god, yeah.
You sit on the sidelines and then and then, like when Frieza least expects it, you go Destructo Disc and you throw it in and it messes.
And then
it messes him up.
It misses, yeah. It does something. It slices his off, but then he just regrows. But yeah, that's Dragon Ball Superhero. I still hate that name, but I am excited for this movie, and I might see it in theaters. I don't know. I don't fucking care that much. But last up on the news because we
have definitely gone over the regular time for sure.
That always happens when I come on the podcast.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, content.
It's fine. The last bit of news. This is really weird, but apparently Apple TV, because apparently Apple TV just are planning to do a bunch of animated stuff recently. Like they're doing a bunch of new Peanut specials. They have that one fucking movie with the cat coming out, and apparently they're making a head of me. You son of a bitches. They're making a new live action show of Speed Racer.
What do you mean they lied to you? It's in the headline.
It's in the headline.
That said it was animated.
Then why are we reading the headline that says it's live action? PK, double check your sources.
This is like, okay, on the last Yard episode I listened to, they got on the Ludwig because the day before the episode, he had taken a THC gummy and he was just like completely fucking out of it. And they couldn't get any information out of him, and they confronted him on the podcast the day after, and they were like, "Listen, you need to stop doing that." And he's like, "You can't, like, that's my day off. I take a gummy on the Lord's Day, Sunday, and you can't get mad at me for that."
Oh my god, I literally did that the other week. I was like, "It's the Lord's Day Sunday. It's the perfect day to eat a gummy."
Oh man.
But yeah, they're making a new live-action Speed Racer, and it's from J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Studio. I fucking
the studio behind such great hits as Spy
yeah.
Kids.
Which I don't.
I love
I love
Spy
Spy
Kids.
Kids.
Spy Kids is great.
Some people say they like it ironically. I unironically love Spy Kids. Those movies are.
Do you think
mhm.
the creators of card games on motorcycles stay in heaven because they're afraid of what they've created?
I can't believe that line is in Spy Kids. That fucked me up as a kid for so long because I'm like, damn, like that's like the deepest question I've ever been asked as like a 5-year-old. What the fuck? And then years later,
When I first watched that movie when I was a kid, I didn't understand that line, so it just didn't register for me until I was on the school bus in high school, and our old friend Nez turned to me and said, "Have you watched Spy Kids?" and then talked about that, and I was just like, "Wow,
like
huh."
Robert Rodriguez is fucking nuts. His movies are nuts. I love him. He's an amazing director. I recently watched From Dusk Till Dawn for the first time, like a month ago, and it's amazing. I fucking oh man, Spy Kids is great. But yeah, apparently from what I can tell, it's written. Oh wait, no, this one is written by some dude who wrote for Snowpiercer, which I heard is actually really good, and some other dude who wrote for Westworld. Which, yeah, Westworld, is that still popular? I don't know.
That's a thing that I've heard a lot about that I have not watched.
Yeah.
The second season wasn't. I was like, oh, okay. Then I have no interest, I guess. I'll maybe check it out. Yeah, it's all pretty much from it. I don't know why. The rest of this article is just talking about like every other fucking speedrunner, speed racer media. I really did. Sorry, I'm like at the end.
You tried.
Mhm.
Not 60s. We need like a modern day anime that's like a slice of life anime about Twitch speedrunners.
Oh, yo, that's money.
Bruh.
That's an idea. God.
Bruh, I just need to see like the group of Mario 64 speedrunners just freaking out over the MIP skip and the freaking the BLJ.
Yeah, exactly. Like you know how like there's like these videos on YouTube that are like talking about the history of certain speedrunning like routes. That but it's like dramatized since an anime. If you're listening, Funimation, that one's free. I'm a professional writer. Hire me.
Yeah. Like it's like I said, I was talking with Braytoon Rare the other day. I just talked about how, man, I would just really like to make like a card game anime that's good.
That'd be sick.
That'd be pretty rad.
Like one dream. I want to make card game anime, but it's not whatever wild shit's happening in Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe
I want the Death Note scene where he's eating the chip, but he's laying a card down.
Exactly. Yo, actually, we had an anime moment the other day when we're playing Magic because I wake up. Writer's been awake all night and they're like, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." And then we start playing. They got a new deck I haven't seen before. Like we literally just played the night before, like all day. And I'm like, "What is that deck?" And they were like, "Yeah." So after we played last night, I went to IHOP and I stayed there all the way till 5 in the morning, just with all my cards, just thinking of what I can do. And I was like, that could be a scene in a card game anime. Come on.
I mean, it could. And also, I want to say, on topic to the podcast, this is like the kind of conversation that like on the yard they would like, they have like ending conversations where it's like, oh, this is our time, and then they still have something they want to talk about, and they're like, this will be on the Patreon. You should consider that. You should consider making like end conversations be exclusive to the Patreon as like bonus episodes. We're gonna steal everything from Ludwig.
Yep.
Sorry, I've already
shameless fan creators.
This podcast was an original idea. Like I just was like, hey, I like these other animation podcasts. There's not that many.
I'm definitely not saying this because I don't want to give Funimation free writing ideas.
Yeah.
I'm saying it because of your own well-being, not because I don't want Funimation to be like, oh yeah, no, this is a great anime idea, and then they make it, and then they don't hire me. They need to hire me. Okay, listen.
And then they hire like a writer you hate or something.
God.
Like the worst possible writer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be that's the end of our episode for today. We made a lot of time. If you want to go check us out, which speaking of which, the Midnight Toons now has its own official Twitter account. You can go follow that for any new updates on a new episode coming out and etc. All that, all news involving Midnight Toons.
Yeah, and if you want to hear us talk about how Speed Racer is fuck. I'm stumbling. If you want to hear us talk about, making a card game anime, you can subscribe to the Patreon for the bonus episode.
The bonus 30 seconds we got.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind making again, but that's the problem with if I were to make a Patreon for the podcast. Like, it's just I don't know if there would be enough people.
You don't have to worry about that. It's about confidence, PK. It's about confidence. You don't need to worry about that because you know that there'll be at least 10 people who will buy into the Patreon. There'll be at least 10 people, and that will translate to like $50, like, you know, like just putting it out there, just an idea. And what if there's only one viewer who buys into it, but they're like really rich, so they give you like $1,000?
Nice.
You never know. Like, you never know until you try, and so you just gotta put it out there. And there's all sorts of incentives that you could have, like, you know, maybe you could have a powwow with the viewers, like on the Patreon, like once a week. Like, I know, like on the Yard they do this thing to where like they take like life questions, like kind of like an old radio show.
Yeah.
Or like people ask them like, oh, like my dog died. How could I get over it?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like you could do that. Like, there's so many things that you could do as incentives for the Patreon that like I think you should. Serious. If you want to hear us talk about what we could do on the Patreon, you can subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah. It's like, if you want to hear Faye's great ideas for our Patreon that may or may not happen, you can subscribe to the Patreon that may or may not exist yet.
It might happen. I just gotta workshop that maybe. But anyway, we do hope that you enjoyed this episode of the Midnight Toons. Of course, like I said, there's a new Twitter account. Please go check that out if you want any new updates on Midnight Toons whenever. And of course, if you're still worried of like maybe I don't want to follow the account, but I still want to follow any whatever, I don't care. Follow us at all of the links down below. We also have a Discord. The intro and outro is done by 2Mellow. He's fantastic. Go check him out if you haven't. I don't know. I'll cry.
This has been Anthony Fantano with. This has been Anthony Fantano with the Midnight Toons Forever.
Yep. And Rob Lundgren. Goodbye.
Goodbye.